Imagine a breathtaking sunrise over a rural village in Thailand. You've got that golden morning light breaking through the misty trees. The air is completely still, the world is quiet, and the day is just beginning with this profound sense of calm. This is our starting point. Absolutely test the boundaries of culture, faith, and human compassion.
Section 1. A peaceful morning procession. Devotion in the golden light.
So, this brings us to Mukdahan province in Thailand. It's a place where these mornings of quiet devotion are just a deeply cherished way of life. Try to picture it. 10 Buddhist monks in these incredibly vibrant saffron robes, walking so calmly in prayer, accompanied by respectful local villagers. It was really a day like any other for this community, deeply rooted in generations of tradition. And they were completely unaware that this pristine silence was literally moments away from being totally shattered.
Section 2. The unthinkable tragedy, a sudden loss of control.
Okay, let's dive into this, because the most shocking detail of this entire event is the number 11. That beautiful, quiet devotion was abruptly broken by the roar of an engine. A white pickup truck suddenly appeared, speeding erratically down the road. And the person behind the wheel of that out-of-control vehicle? It wasn't an impaired adult or some reckless driver. No way. It was an 11-year-old boy. The child was in absolute terror, desperately trying to hit the brakes, but he was completely unable to stop this heavy machinery. Just imagine the dust kicking up and those saffron robes fluttering in the sudden panic.
According to police reports, this whole tragic chain of events started when the 11-year-old boy took his parents' truck keys without permission, and once he got behind the wheel, panic just quickly set in. This caused the vehicle to speed dangerously right toward the religious procession. Despite his desperate attempts to stop, the truck crashed directly into the group. Villagers were screaming, rushing to get out of the way, but the impact was just unavoidable.
10. That is the devastating toll of this collision. 10 Buddhist monks lost their lives in this horrific crash. The quiet morning was instantly transformed into a scene of immense loss, and several others were left severely injured in the chaos that unfolded on the road.
Section 3. Breaking tradition for life. A courageous act.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what happened in the immediate aftermath. A courageous female nurse, who was actually at the scene, grabbed her first aid kit and sprinted right into the chaos to help. But she immediately ran into a profound cultural barrier. You see, in Thai Buddhism, there's this very strict, deeply ingrained traditional belief that monks are not allowed to touch or be touched by women. It's a fundamental rule of their religious practice.
In that exact split second, two incredibly powerful forces collided. On one side, you have religious tradition, with its strict rules against physical contact with women. And on the other side, human compassion and the urgent, immediate need to administer life-saving CPR and first aid. The nurse was faced with an incredible choice, and she bravely prioritized human compassion, stepping right across those rigid cultural boundaries to intervene medically. A female nurse stepped forward and administered first aid and CPR to the injured monks. Kneeling beside them in the dust, she performed CPR with absolute determination and focus, while bystanders actually stepped in to assist her. And what's truly remarkable here is how the monks remained peaceful and dignified throughout it all. Humanity and the desperate need to preserve life completely transcended those religious differences in that critical moment.
Section 4. The heartbreaking aftermath, guilt, and rescue. So, the crucial point is, as the dust began to clear, an 11-year-old child stepped out of that damaged vehicle, just entirely overwhelmed with fear and in tears. The heavy burden of his unauthorized actions, taking those keys, crashed down upon him as he looked at the devastating consequences. It's a profoundly heartbreaking realization of the irreversible tragedy he had just caused.
Very quickly, the systemic response kicked in. The flashing lights of emergency services arrived on the scene in Mukdahan province. Police immediately worked to secure the chaotic area, while multiple ambulances and medical rescue teams took over from that brave nurse. They provided advanced assistance and transport for the severely injured monks and the local villagers.
Section 5. A solemn reminder. Echoes of the tragedy. Let's move to and see how this builds into our final thoughts.
And this brilliantly illustrates a deeply profound question: how do we balance ancient traditions with the sudden, urgent need for human compassion? The brave nurse at the center of this tragedy answered that question with action, right? She prioritized life above all else. It really forces us to reflect on the complex intersection of unwavering faith and the universal, deeply human instinct to save a life.
A tragic accident claimed the lives of 10 Buddhist monks during a religious procession in Thailand. Several others were injured. May the victims rest in peace, and may this tragedy remind everyone that vehicles must never be driven by children. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and we'll see you next time.